The Dundee pitch debate rolls on as Chris Sutton has gave his 2 cents on it. Because of course, troops, it was supposed to be on Sky tonight. There's a lot of people out of pocket, a lot of people raging that this game's not went ahead. And to be honest, I'm one of them. We should all be one of them. Dundee have let the world down. Dundee have let the world down. Damn it, the Scottish footballing world down probably would be the correct terminology here, as the game got cancelled. Now there's been a million videos on it. In terms of, though, information, when will the game take place again? Well, I'll tell you when the game will take place, and that will be next week, next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, my friends, on the 17th of April. It's an absolute disaster. Let's not try and call it anything other than what it is. But if you want to hear what Rangers said, let's dive into it before we dive into Sutton's comments. It said, the negligence and unprofessionalism demonstrated by Dundee Football Club, where they have repeatedly breached SPFL rules, continues to have a damaging effect on the top professional league in the country. The club considers this matter has been handled incorrectly throughout by both Dundee and the SPFL. So Rangers are getting stuck in, troops. Rangers are absolutely getting stuck in. It has to be said. It has to be right. It goes on to talk about, at this time, we sympathise fully once again with our supporters, approximately 4,000 of whom were looking forward to attending tonight's game, having already been left hugely inconvenienced and out of pocket by the first postponement last month. It is entirely unacceptable and disrespectful on the part of Dundee FC to have allowed this situation to have developed again. End of quote there. Now, Chris Sutton, which was the purpose of this video, did go on to talk about, what if it rains in Dundee next week? My sources tell me that if it can't be played at Dens, then it will be moved to Ibrox. So, is that true? Has he just completely and utterly made that up? I mean, I'd probably go for the latter, to be honest. Because, right, why would the game be played at Ibrox? And what are his sources? Oh, you never tell your source. Well, you know what? You probably would need to tell your source on this occasion. Why would the game be played at Ibrox, right? It's Dundee's home game. So what sense does it make to give Rangers another home game against Dundee? I mean, honestly, whatever it takes at this stage of the game to get this wrapped up and to get this sorted, I mean, I'd probably take any sort of resolution, whatever it would take to get this situation sorted, because it's a mess, man. I just want the game played, and I want to know where Rangers stand on games played. And I'm sure there's Dundee fans out there that want their shitey excuse of a club on level terms with other clubs in the league so they know where they stand. But the reality is, they can't look after a fucking pitch. They deemed it to be more important to sack their groundsman of 40 years and then buy players. I mean, again, how much was the guy on? How can sacking your groundsman truly be worth more than a couple of... I mean, how's it worth a couple of players? I don't know. But the weather forecast for Dundee next week is for more rain. So, again, what's the course of action next week when it pisses down? Like, seriously, what are we dealing with there? Because, I mean, it's an absolute mess about what's going on here. So, are we just going to let it rain and hope for the best next week? Is there going to be a contingency plan in place? I mean, of course, next Wednesday is literally the last game before the split. Before the split needs to happen. And therefore, I think no matter what happens next Wednesday, this game will go ahead. It's going to have to. It's going to have to. And it's the same thing with the Motherwell game. It's like, what would have happened though if that Motherwell game got postponed, the Dundee one? I mean, it's a mess. You can throw as much sand down on the pitch as you want, right? But no amount of sand is going to cover the stench of shite that's spewing up in Dundee. I don't get it, alright? Don't understand it. Don't understand how it can be this bad. Punishments need to be dished out here. Punishments need to be dished out. And I'm not exaggerating. It needs to happen. Sutton can pretend that he's got sources and that the game's going to take place at Ibrox. Why? There's so many other stadiums this could take place at than Ibrox, man. As great as it would be to have another home game, do we want an asterisk next to a title this season? Well, that's very rich coming for some people that were fine with their title being awarded over soon. But anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down below. I'm sick of talking about this pitch, but here, I'll milk it.